Good day, everyone. This video is presented by Abac, Chan, Esman, Logronio, and Manglicmot. And today, we are going to determine the number of pair of shoes owned by grade 11 UMS students. The problem is, what is the average number of pair of shoes owned by the grade 11 UMS students? Our parameter is the assumed mean number of pair of shoes that the grade 11 UM students owned is 7 pairs. 7 pairs. Now, for the level of significance, we have 0.05 in decimal or 5%. For the population, we have 187, 35 from UMS 1, 39 from UMS 2, 3 and 4, and lastly, 34 from UMS 5. Now, to get the statistic of sample size, we are going to imply the solvents formula for solving the sample size. We have the population of 186 and the alpha of 0.05 or 5%. And we have 126.96 or approximately 127. For the statistics, we gathered 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pair of shoes. And for the frequency respectively, 8, 19, 18, 16, 23, 11, 9, 5, 5, 8, and 5. Now, to get the standard deviation, imply the formula, and we have 2.72. Now, for the sampling technique that we used is stratified sampling. 25 sample size from UMS 1 to 3, and then the sample size of 26 from UMS 4 and 5. Now, for the hypothesis, the null hypothesis would be the average number of pairs of shoes owned by grade 11 UMS students is 7 pairs. Now, for the alternative hypothesis, the average number of pair of shoes owned by grade 11 UMS students is more than 7 pairs. The type of test: directional or one-tailed test, or right-tailed test, since we mentioned more than 7 pairs. For the statistics tool, we used z-test, mainly because our sample size is greater than 30. For getting the computed test statistics, we have the z-score of negative 0.25. Implied the formula, 6.94 from the mean minus 7 over 2.72 all over the square root of 127, our sample size. And we have negative 0.25. Now, for our critical value, we had 1.65. Remember guys, in getting the critical value, you must take the closest value from our alpha or level of significance or the margin of error. And we have 1.65 since we took 0.0495 and minus 0.0500. And that's what we get, negative 0.005. And looking at the z table, we have 1.65. That's how we get the critical value. Now, for our graph. Remember, we have our critical value, 1.65. And our z-score, computed z-score, is negative 0.25, which is here. Now, if you're going to analyze it, is it accepted or rejected? Let's all find out. Oops, here's the decision. The decision is to accept the null hypothesis and reject the alternative hypothesis. Therefore, we conclude that the average number of pair of shoes that the grade 11 UM student own is 7 pairs. And that's it, everyone. That's how you get your mean, mu, standard deviation for your population and sample size. That's it. Thank you for watching. This is Abac, Chan, Esman, Logronio, and Manglicmot from 11 STEM 3.